Few shows in television history have been as groundbreaking and influential as The Sopranos, and that legacy rests heavily on the shoulders of its unforgettable stars. At the very heart of it all stood James Gandolfini, whose portrayal of Tony Soprano reshaped the landscape of TV anti-heroes. Gandolfini brought a rare vulnerability and depth to the brutal mob boss, a performance so human and raw that it redefined what audiences expected from television drama. His passing in 2013 at just 51 sent shockwaves through the entertainment world. For fans, it wasn't just the death of an actor, it was the loss of Tony himself. If you're a fan of The Sopranos, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more. Another central figure was Tony Sirico, the actor behind the loyal and hot-headed Paulie Walnuts Gualtieri. Sirico, a former streetwise tough guy turned actor, infused Paulie with equal parts menace and comic relief. He passed away in 2022, leaving behind a legacy of unforgettable one-liners and intense screen presence. Sirico didn't just play a gangster, he was one once, and that authenticity bled into every scene. Then there was Frank Vincent, the sharply dressed mobster who played Phil Leotardo. Known for his roles in Goodfellas and Casino, Vincent brought gravitas and elegance to his role as Tony's powerful rival. His death in 2017 marked the departure of yet another cornerstone of the show's mafia mythos. These actors weren't just characters. They were icons carrying the emotional and narrative weight of a series that shaped a generation. Their absence is deeply felt, but their legacy lives on in every rewatch, every quote, and every fan who still hears Tony's breathing in the silence. While the leading stars of The Sopranos captured most of the spotlight, it was the richly textured supporting cast that gave the show its depth and authenticity. These actors breathed life into the world surrounding Tony Soprano, and many of them have sadly passed away, leaving behind unforgettable characters and emotional moments. Denise Borino-Quinn, who portrayed the kind-hearted Ginny Sacramone, the wife of mob boss Johnny Sack, brought warmth and compassion to a show often filled with tension and brutality. Her role was small but impactful, humanizing a mafia marriage and becoming a fan favorite. Denise died in 2010 at age 46 after battling liver cancer. Frank Pellegrino, who played FBI Chief Frank Cubitoso, had a unique dual life as both actor and restaurateur, co-owner of the famous Rouse in NYC. On screen, he added a grounded sense of realism to the federal side of the show's law and crime narrative. He passed away from lung cancer in 2017 at age 72. Tom Aldredge, who briefly played Hugh DeAngelis, Carmela's conservative father, brought gravitas and quiet authority to family scenes that grounded Carmela's background. Aldredge passed in 2011 at age 83. Tony Lip, who played mob boss Carmine Lupertazzi, delivered a subtle yet commanding presence. A former real-life club manager known for his ties to the mob scene, Lip gave his role natural flair. He passed in 2013, remembered as both an actor and the man whose life inspired the film Green Book. These actors didn't just portray criminals, they explored the contradictions of masculinity, power, loyalty, and morality. Without them, The Sopranos would not have been the same. They were more than characters. They were pillars of television history. While The Sopranos boasted a cast full of seasoned actors, some of the most devastating losses came from those who passed away too young, leaving behind unanswered questions and unfulfilled potential. These were talents who had so much more to give, not just to the show, but to the world. Another heartbreaking loss was Chris Penn, the younger brother of actor Sean Penn, who briefly appeared in the Sopranos universe and had been eyed for further projects tied to the show's creators. Chris died suddenly in 2006 at 40 from heart disease, a blow to fans who admired his gritty screen presence. Then there's Robert LuPone, who portrayed Dr. Bruce Cusimano, Tony Soprano's neighbor and family doctor. Though not a central character, LuPone brought layered subtlety to his role, highlighting the contrast between Tony's criminal life and suburban normalcy. He died in 2022 at 76 from pancreatic cancer, but his passing still felt premature for those who followed his long stage and screen career. These early losses are particularly painful because they remind us that even in a fictional world where death is constant, the real-life absence of these actors carries an emotional weight that lingers far beyond the final credits. They were gone too soon, and they are deeply missed. Nancy Marchand, who played Livia Soprano, Tony's emotionally manipulative and domineering mother, left an indelible mark on the show's psychological depth. Her performance captured the quiet venom of a matriarch whose passive aggression haunted Tony long after childhood. Marchand passed away in 2000 just before the second season aired at the age of 71 due to lung cancer. Her death forced the writers to adjust the storyline, but her chilling legacy as Livia still lingers in the series' DNA. Joseph Siravo portrayed Johnny Boy Soprano, Tony's father, in flashbacks that offered haunting glimpses into the Soprano family's origins. His role, though limited in screen time, revealed the generational patterns of violence and silence that shaped Tony's worldview. Siravo died in 2021 at 66 after a battle with colon cancer. His layered performance added tragic echoes to the father-son dynamic that defined much of Tony's inner turmoil. Peter Bogdanovich, a renowned filmmaker and actor, took on the meta role of Dr. Elliot Kupferberg, the therapist of Dr. Melfi. With dry wit and intellectual sharpness, he challenged Melfi's ethical dilemmas in treating Tony, adding another layer of moral conflict to the series. Bogdanovich passed away in 2022 at the age of 82. His presence, though subtle, underscored the show's thematic tension between professionalism and complicity. Paul Herman brought to life Bianzi Gaeta, a reformed mobster trying to leave violence behind. His memorable storyline, especially the brutal encounter with Richie Aprile, symbolized the high cost of turning your back on the life. Herman died in 2022 on his 76th birthday. His performance gave humanity to a world often defined by brutality, reminding viewers that not every gangster is beyond redemption. Even after the curtain closed on The Sopranos and several of its most iconic actors passed away, their legacy continues to thrive in the hearts of fans worldwide. James Gandolfini, Tony Sirico, Frank Vincent, and others aren't just remembered for their on-screen brilliance, they've become cultural landmarks. From Reddit threads to tribute documentaries, the internet buzzes with discussions dissecting scenes, quoting lines, and reliving the magic these actors created. Fans still flock to Sopranos Con and screenings of the show's most intense episodes. Social media is flooded with fan art, emotional montages, and anniversary posts. Gandolfini's portrayal of Tony Soprano is taught in acting classes and referenced in psychology lectures. The resonance is deeply personal for many. Viewers found therapy in Tony's struggles, humor in Paulie's antics, and wisdom in the show's darkest moments. Their deaths didn't end the love, they amplified it. Actors like Gandolfini are not just mourned, they're honored. Murals in New Jersey, fan tattoos, and even restaurants paying tribute with themed menus all speak to how deeply these performers are embedded in popular culture. They made audiences feel seen, shocked, and understood, and that emotional connection has outlived them. In the world of The Sopranos, mortality was constant, but in real life, through the devotion of fans and the timeless power of storytelling, these legends have achieved something Tony never could: immortality. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this tribute, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos.